there. Let's keep your week rolling just right with the right mix of news and conversations. Whether you're catching us online or watching us on TV, hop on, join the chat. I'm Paolo de Rosario.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Asis-Carilo. Here's your daily dose of deep dives and good vibes. Welcome to
Beautiful Day! And it feels like a more calm day than what we've had the past
few days.
Grabe,
Yes.
oo.
So now it's calmer and I don't know, mas relaxed tayo.
Mas relax. It
Yes.
feels nice na mas relax tayo. I mean, like, kasi...
From time to time, it's nice to be relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, like, I miss a regular day kasi last week, grabe yung bagyo,
Yeah.
grabe yung baha, tapos may sauna
Yes.
to start off this week. And it feels like yung grind natin, yung vibe natin yun, is chill.
I know, and I like it. I actually like it. But of course, even if we have a relaxed day today,
Of course.
it's still jam-packed as always. And I am excited about the conversations that we will be having today on the show. First up, we have the Jing Magsaysay joining us later to talk about the new podcast that they have. Which I follow and I love.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Ang dami
gusto
ko
yung plug na yun
natutunan, promise. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, it's important.
The news
kasi,
team
yes,
is the name
news
of the
team,
podcast,
The news team is
yeah.
the name of the podcast, and it's really important, I believe personally, na may seryosong podcasts out there
Yeah.
as well. It keeps all informed and in a new medium like this, relatively new medium in terms of podcast. But of course, Jing Magsaysay will be here.
Yes.
That's who will be talking about the News Team podcast, industry veteran. Syempre, for young aspiring journalists in particular, Jing Mag is one of the people to look out for. But of course, later on, we also have a guest coming in from Weather HQ. Actually, dapat datong guest talking about farm tourism.
Ooh.
We did not get a chance to talk about last time around because dumaan yung bagyo sa area nila
Yeah.
and nawala po sila ng signal. So it's great that we actually have the chance to converse with them this time around.
Yes, and we have an R&B artist joining us today.
Yes.
He will be singing a song that is still unreleased. So you're going to be hearing it first right here on Beautiful Day on BNC. We're so proud of that. His name is Russell, and we'll know more about him. He's a Phil-Canadian artist, and I got to listen to some of his songs on Spotify last night, and I just love it. Me,
Yeah.
the R&B girl. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's the kind of music that I love listening to, and he has done collaborations with JR, with Elis Morena, and
Yeah.
these R&B artists.
And Denise Laurel as
Denise
well.
Laurel is actually featured in this unrelleased track, which is not going to be here. But Russell is going to be introducing that track to
Yeah.
us later. Something to be excited about.
100%. You know, what I'm excited also is yung energy na dala niya kasi, you know, when we look at when he writes his name or at least kapag press release, may exclamation
May
point palagi.
exclamation
May
point,
exclamation
yeah.
point. So,
So, Russell!
Hindi lang Russell eh. Oh, Russell! Ayun. So, that's
I love
what we're
it.
expecting.
Pinoy na Pinoy.
Tapos nandito kayo. So, sa Canada, he's, Russell. Pero dito, Russell! Oy! Grabe.
That is so funny. So
Oh
we
my
need
gosh.
to say his name that way later.
Yeah,
as we
yeah,
enter.
yeah.
So Russell.
Ikaw, sige, ako yung Filipino side, ikaw yung Canadian side. Oh my gosh. But
That's so
remember,
funny.
we are all online via YouTube and on
Yes.
Facebook, and Anne has her laptop up, and that is because she is watching out for your comments.
Yes, please send us those comments, messages, questions that you want to throw our guests later on the show. Feel free to type away on the comment section and we will read them. You know what? Yesterday, Paolo, I forgot to say hello to some people who said hello on Facebook.
Oh,
so
snap
later.
ka raw eh. Yan yung
Uy,
balita
grabe,
ko.
no? I
Yan yung
always
balita ko
heart.
eh.
I
Pinupusuan
always
mo.
heart, yeah.
Okay.
I always heart their comments. So if you see those, heart emojis, and if I heart your comment,
Si
that's
Anya.
me. Yes.
That's also a call to please follow her on Facebook daw.
Oh.
So kung pinusuan po kayo
Yes,
ni Ana
please.
Asis-Carilo, kindly follow her on
Hint, hint,
Facebook. Oh,
right?
hint, twink. Wala eh. Like, I don't bring my laptop here, so hi na lang guys. Follow me on
Wala.
IG.
So I will be the social media girl on the
Uh-oh.
show. But anyway, yes, follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. We are there live right now, and also join us for the next hour and a half because we got a jam-packed show as always, and news headlines that you can use this morning. First up, traffic.
Yes.
Let's check the situation in major roads at this hour. Let's take a look first at EDSA White Plains. Left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard, already slowing down a bit this morning. We're seeing moderate traffic already building up on that stretch. Opposite lane, light traffic on that side. Vehicles going to Cubao. Now, here is what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. Left side of your screens are vehicles heading to Quiapo. We're seeing light to moderate traffic on that lane. Opposite side are the vehicles going to Quezon Memorial Circle. Same situation, light to moderate traffic as well. Now, heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Wednesday today, so vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now let's go find out what the weather will be like this Wednesday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Paolo.
Thank you so much, Anne. Let's take a look at the local weather, where the southwest monsoon is still affecting the weather for most of our country. Now, it's bringing the moist air that's causing rain in many parts of the country, especially over in Luzon. Now, areas like Batanes and the Babuyan Islands, as well as the Ilocos region, Abra and Benguet, can expect on and off rains. Now, even if the rain comes in spurts, it can still cause flooding in low-lying areas. Now, in the rest of the Cordillera Administrative Region, Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, even Metro Manila, Rizal as well, you can expect mostly cloudy skies and scattered rains and thunderstorms all throughout the day. Now, some of these rains may be sudden and heavy, so be sure that you are alert for flooding and possible lightning. Meanwhile, in the Visayas and Mindanao region, you will have generally fair weather, but keep an umbrella ready, as there is still a chance for the isolated rain showers or thunderstorms in the afternoon or in the evening. Again, still coming in due to the southwest monsoon. Now, for our viewers in northern Luzon, please take note of this. The southwest monsoon continues to bring heavy rains to several provinces. Here's a rainfall warning. A yellow rainfall warning is up in Batanes, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Abra, and Benguet. Now, these areas could get up to 50 to 100 millimeters of rain today. Now, enough to cause flooding, especially in areas that don't drain just as well. And since these areas have already had a lot of rain recently, there is a higher risk of floods and landslides. Now, on to our sea conditions. To our fisherfolk and sea travelers, especially in northern Luzon, please be extra careful, because you can expect rough to very rough sea conditions in the waters around the Batanes and the Babuyan Islands. Now, wave heights are expected to go up to 5 meters. Small boats and fishing vessels are not allowed to set sail in these areas in particular. Now, along the northern coast of Ilocos Norte, you can expect waves that will reach 4.5 meters, so still very dangerous for sea travel. Now, for those in the rest of the country, you can expect sea conditions to be light to moderate. Wave heights, though, are expected to be around 2.1 meters. Stay alert, because the southwest monsoon can suddenly get stronger. Now, this could bring gusty winds and bring bigger waves without any warning, especially on the west coast. Always check weather updates before traveling by sea. Stay safe. Now, that is it for Weather HQ at the moment. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao. Now let's take a look at our national headlines. Senate President Cheese Escudero fired back at claims linking him to a 142 billion peso insertion in the 2025 budget, calling it a demolition job by someone from the House of Representatives. He admitted visiting the BICAM meetings at the House multiple times, but insisted it was part of his duties and denied meeting with House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Escudero also pointed out that the amendments in the 2025 General Appropriations Act actually reached 600 billion pesos.
Kung totoo man yung sinasabi nila na 150 billion ang binago ng Senado, nasaan yung 500 billion yung pagbabagong yon? Saan ang galing? At bakit nila pinagtutuunan ng pansin yung mas maliit, hindi yung mas malaki? Sunod, nabalita na sa akin yan. Nagagamitin laban sa akin yan kaugnay sa isang demolition job, kaugnay sa napipintong halalan ng Senate President.
Despite being reinstated as Senate President, Escudero faces continued scrutiny after President Marcos ordered a probe into alleged flood control corruption and warned against off-budget insertions.
Now, some major developments in the case of the missing Sabongeros just a day after the president promised to continue pursuing it in his fourth SONA. Well, NAPOLCOM has officially filed administrative charges against the 12 police officers involved, 3 of them being high-ranking officials. And as the heavy rains from Typhoon Krising end, search and retrieval operations resume in Taal Lake. Meanwhile, the Justice Department says they have another testimony in their hands from a witness also holding solid evidence in the case.
Hindi angkop ang kanyang kilos sa magandang pag-resolve ng kaso. Hindi, parang ano lang, ayoko kasi nag-aalangan ako na tao. Ito kasi very important witness to. Pero meron siyang kinilos na hindi ko gusto. Alam nyo, napakahalaga ng ganitong tiwala sa prosesong to. Tiwala ang pinakamahalagang rito, magkaroon.
Senate President Chiz Escudero says he sees no reason not to follow the Supreme Court's ruling on the impeachment trial of the Vice President. The Supreme Court ruled last week that the impeachment complaint against the VP was unconstitutional, as it violated the one-year ban rule. But SP Chiz says that it still needs to go through a vote in the plenary whether the Senate will follow the Supreme Court's decision. He adds that even if the trial doesn't go through, there are other ways to hold an official accountable. Investigations by Congress, by the Senate, and by the Ombudsman are all avenues for accountability.
ML Party List Representative Laila de Lima called President Marcos's fourth SONA as, quote, lacking, saying it failed to address key issues needing accountability. She pointed out that while flood control corruption was mentioned, hot topics like the ICC and VP Sara's impeachment were left out. The president also skipped the minimum wage hike issue, which stalled in Congress over disagreements on the amount. Despite that, labor groups say they're more determined than ever to push for reforms and urge the president to certify the legislated wage increase as urgent.
Some harrowing news from New York. 4 people were killed in a shooting in Manhattan or in a Manhattan skyscraper that houses the NFL headquarters and other financial firms. Police have identified the shooter as 27-year-old Shane Tamura, who carried a note with him which appeared to blame the NFL for his degenerative brain disease. Authorities say the gunman entered the wrong elevator and ended up in the offices of a real estate company. Tamura killed 2 security officers, 2 office workers before shooting himself on Tuesday. In his note, the gunman said he felt he had CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, an untreatable brain chronic disease caused by repeated bangs to the head while playing contact sports. Tamura was never an NFL player, but records show he played football at his California high school and LA charter school. Historically, NFL has paid over $1 billion to settle concussion-related lawsuits to its players. Reports say the note found in the gunman's wallet said his football career was cut short by his brain injury and that the NFL had not done enough to address CTE in the sport. So I've been following this story, and I read an article on the New York Times, and the police said there was a note found in the suspect's wallet, and the note also said something like, "Study my brain, please. I'm sorry." So I'm quoting that report.
Yeah.
So he shot himself in the chest and not the head because he wants his brain to be studied.
Okay, so yung mahirap sa CTE, for those who are not aware, is that you cannot be diagnosed with it. You only find out if you have CTE sa autopsy.
Yes.
Right? So, for those wondering kung may correlation nga ba ang CTE or concussion with American football, back in 2016, the NFL actually did admit that there is a link to CTE and the sport.
Yeah.
Now, they did a study wherein 91 former NFL players, around 81 to 87 of them actually did suffer CTE. And it's actually a subject of a movie by in 2015 with Will Smith called Concussion. And it was a big deal because grabe yung industry of American football. It's one of the biggest money sports in the world, especially in America. So it's actually affected us here dito sa Pilipinas because even here in our sports, we now have concussion protocol. Kapag may nakauntugan na players in any sport, normally there is concussion protocol because there is no treatment, as we mentioned a while
Wala,
ago,
yeah.
for CTE.
It's untreatable. And the symptoms can probably drive you crazy talaga because it causes behavioral changes, mood swings, depression, suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine what they're going through for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, it's actually really violent because some of the CTE actually do lead to battered families, battered wives, and obviously loss of life.
Yeah.
For different cases. And yung difficult thing, at least in the United States, and the reason why it's such a big deal is because American football is played even at the youth level. So you are getting hits to the head as a 10-year-old, as a 11-year-old. So as you develop it, that's why yung si Tamura, the one who mentioned, didn't even have an NFL career.
Yeah.
By the
but
time he was in
playing,
college,
yeah.
siguro daming hits up
High
to the head.
school and college, I think. Yeah, he
Yeah.
started high school. So
Yeah,
you
well,
can just imagine,
yeah.
the times that he suffered concussion.
Yeah. And again, because sports yung pinag-usapan natin, I have a lot to say about that. But then one of the reasons why they're saying that American footballers actually do have a higher degree of CT is because actually of the helmets. Because people think that if you wear the helmet,
You think
safe
you're
ka.
safer,
Oo,
yeah,
no,
when you
you're
have those
not.
helmets.
In fact, nainganyo ka to actually bump heads
Kasi
because
akala
you
mo
feel you're
you're
protected.
yeah.
Right?
So mas gumagrabe yung impact.
Yes, so there's actually a way to tackle supposedly. Right now, NFL teams are trying to imitate how rugby teams in Europe do it. Kasi in rugby, they don't have the helmets and you're encouraged to tackle using your shoulder to the waist of your opponent. So right now,
Okay.
there are teams who are actually teaching NFL players how to tackle at the waist
Okay.
instead of leading with the head
The head, yeah.
to prevent CT. Again, it's going to be a long topic to discuss. It's very scientific, but then again,
Can they do away with the helmets? Like eventually?
I don't think they would. I don't think they would, to be honest.
okay.
Pero again, we're seeing that in sa basketball. Dito sa PBA, we actually do have a concussion protocol that we check for players kung nauntog sila. Again, accidental
Right.
for that, and that's because CT is a big deal.
Yeah.
And eventually, but of course.
But
Boy,
it's just sad that this
super,
had to happen.
Super.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's happened more often, unfortunately, in the United States because of yung American football. But again, to be fair, I love that game. Super Bowl is one of my favorite times. I know the halftime
Yes.
show is your favorite.
Yes, that's right.
Wala ata nakaka-concussion sa halftime show nila.
Wala masyado. Unless
Wala.
mahulog ka sa stage or something, or pag mahulog ka nung dancer na naglift sa'yo, then that's the only time that you get a concussion.
Let's hope that
But
never happens.
It's safer. Yeah, it does not.
It's not. All right, now speaking of more sports, let's go on to European football, the one that actually involves kicking a ball instead of holding it.
Okay.
The road to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup gets tough for the Philippines women's national football team. Now, the Filipinas discovers their fate in the AFC Women's Asia Cup at the draw ceremony held in Sydney on Tuesday, July 29. The Philippines was sorted into a very tough Group A, alongside host nation world number 15 Australia, world number 21 South Korea, and debutants Iran. The Filipinas currently hold the 41st spot in the world. Only the top 6 teams of the 12 competitors will qualify directly to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil, while the 7th and 8th spot will earn an indirect slot. The Philippines will face the host nation Australia in the first game of the AFC Asia Cup on March 1, 2026 in Perth.
Okay, here's my first cup of tea this morning. Angelica Panganiban is officially back on the big screen after 4 years away, and she is diving in with a film about a couple navigating annulment.
Wow.
Producer Georgie Alonso said the movie, titled Unmarry, is set to premiere sometime this year. The film will also feature Solen Husaf, Zanjo Marudo, and Tom Rodriguez, along with other veteran actors. After a 4-year break to focus on motherhood, Panganiban says she waited for a story worth leaving home for, and this one felt just right. I love this, that she's back. She is such an amazing actress. And I follow her on Instagram, and she posts family photos all the time.
Yeah.
Her husband, Greg Homan, and then they're cute little baby. So I'm glad that finally she's back with a good project that she feels now worth it, you
A
know.
story worth telling. Grabe, no?
Yeah.
Annulment talaga yung
I know.
binili kanya.
Tsaka the title, Unmarried.
Unmarried. You know,
I feel like it's a love hacks topic.
alam mo, sobrang, yeah, I think it
Diba?
could be a love hacks topic. Of
Yeah.
course, annulment in the Philippines. I think this is also very uniquely Filipino because, again, we're one of the very few countries, one of two, I believe, in the world
yeah.
na walang divorce.
Vatican and
right?
the Philippines.
Vatican and us,
Yes.
right? So, I mean,
Diba?
annulment.
Dalawa na lang?
Dalawa na lang. So, I can guarantee you probably this is, unless you make a movie in the Vatican, you're not gonna come up with an annulment movie. And Angelica Panganiban coming back after 4 years
Yay.
as for the
I love
motherhood
her.
break.
I love her.
I personally cannot wait to see just how much more mature she is. Kasi
Yes.
syempre motherhood changes you.
Yes, that is
Especially
so
after 4
true.
years, diba?
So, Angelica, if you're watching, you're always welcome to join a beautiful day and guest on the show.
Actually,
I
that's-
always manifest.
That's how we get our guests.
Exactly,
That's how we
diba?
get our
So,
guests
hi,
in.
Angelica. I'm such a big fan.
Now,
You're
I
always
wonder if
welcome here.
your next cup of tea will mean guesting here also. Pero medyo malabo ata to eh.
Uy, malay mo.
Check mo. Try
Let's
natin.
see, let's see. Okay,
Oh.
second cup of tea. Hayley Williams of emo punk rock band Paramore just dropped 17 new songs on her website
Oh my
out of
gosh.
nowhere. The 17 tracks on HayleyWilliams.net are behind a password-protected prompt obtainable by purchasing the new Ego shade of hair dye from Williams company Good Dye Young. Williams, known for being the co-founder and lead vocalist of Paramore, kicked off her solo career in 2020. And while the 17 new songs aren't linked to any bigger projects yet, they could be a teaser of things to come. 17 new songs. Usually when an artist drops a song out there out of the blue, it's just maybe like 1 or 2 tracks or maybe 3. But 17!
17. You know what?
It's-
She's been preparing. Malamang. Oo.
Hindi, mas marami pa nga siyang tracks. If you look at a regular album, like
Yeah.
ano bang maximum?
Yeah.
Diba? This is 17. This is like a whole Spotify playlist.
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, I love it. I love Hayley Williams' voice. For the fans of Paramore, I'm sure you're familiar with, obviously, The Misery Business, Still Into You, Ain't It Fun. There's so many great songs. Pero yung, she was also the soundtrack of my youth kasi she was featured in so many EDM songs growing up for me.
Yeah,
Stay the
that's
Night
true.
with Zed.
Oh my
oo.
God, I love that.
I mean, like, there's just
stay.
again, sobrang palong-palo dun, right? So,
Palong-palo, yes,
palong-palo.
that's a term. Okay,
when it came to Hayley Williams. But then, hey, I'm happy because it's funny. My sister's actually a fan of Paramore, and she's like 15,
Oh.
right? So I'm happy that Hayley Williams has new songs. Hopefully, they're big hits as well.
Yeah.
And let's see what comes of this. Kasi 17 new songs,
17.
password protected.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder how long it took for her to work on these 17 new songs and just suddenly dropped it out there.
Grabe, I remember when they would actually come up with like physical copies of their music, and that's how you get them. Ngayon, password na lang.
Wala na, password na lang. It's a
Oo.
totally different generation.
So
now.
different
Speaking of
generation.
new songs, later we're really excited because we have an artist joining us, si Russell.
Yeah, si
With a
Russell.
new song.
With the exclamation point.
Yes.
Again, kung nasa Pilipinas tayo, Russell. All right. But of course, we also talked about new technology and media. Actually, our next guest, when we return, a veteran journalist, joins us in the Hangout. A writer, photographer, DJ, reporter, anchor, and a newsroom captain rolled into one industry titan. Don't miss our conversation with Jing Magsaysay after the break. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. Our guest today is an all-around newsman with experience spanning over 3 decades. But he doesn't look 3 decades old, by the way. After all these years, he's still got more stories to tell. We talked to the legendary Jing Magsaysay here in the Hangout. Beautiful day, Jing Magsaysay. Thank you so much for joining
having
us.
me, Paolo, and thank you.
Jing, let's start off first with us. Well, for me personally, I'm happy that you're here because we've had a brush in our shared history way back in the day. Because when I started out as CNN in the Philippines, you were actually the boss. But I was not important enough to meet you personally. So it's great to finally talk to you here.
Sayang, you were there pala. We should have talked.
We should have talked kahit
Yeah,
konti, no?
kahit
But
konti.
the reason why we're here is because you actually have a new medium. You have the News Team podcast.
Yeah.
And you really can't get rid of the news from your system, from your life. And here you are with this new medium. How has that experience been like? How has the shift been? Because you've had a completely different experience delivering the news for so many years.
You know, me and my friends, the news team is a team. So in the team are Jing Reyes. Jing Reyes started in 1986 as a production assistant writer after martial law, after the revolution.
What a time to start.
When ABS-CBN reopened, she was there, sitting on apple boxes because wala pang upuan sa newsroom. And she became executive producer of The World Tonight and TV Patrol, and then she became head of the ABS-CBN News North American Bureau, and she came back to the Philippines to be head of the entire ABS-CBN News Group.
Yeah.
Also on the podcast is Henry Diaz. Henry joined in the early 90s. He started with DZMM, and I talked to him when in 1993 we were talking during the eruption of Mount Mayon in Albay, and I said, "Sama ka na lang sa amin." So he joined ABS-CBN News. Danny Buenafe is in the team. I met Danny during martial law when we were both at Broadcast City. This is where all the TV stations were before. He was with IBC 13, Channel 13, and I was with BBC 2. I was doing radio. I was in the jazz station during the daytime, and I was doing News Watch in the evening with Lauren Legarda.
Yeah.
And we started in 1981, and that's where I started as a reporter in news in RPN 9 in 1981. And then there's Chari Villa, of course. Chari came from IBC 13 as well.
Yeah.
And she joined ABS-CBN and became our defense reporter. And then she headed the regional network group, news group, as well. And she formed a team called Tao Po with ABS-CBN, which is a public service group. We also have Ces Drilon, of course. Everyone knows Stress Drilon. No?
Yes.
Stress Drilon.
So Ces started she was in PTV4 before ABS-CBN.
Yeah.
And then she moved over to ABS-CBN. And all these years, we've been getting together. We've had lunches and dinners and a few drinks together every now and then. And whenever we would get together, nagkukwentuhan kami, and we would talk about the old days. We would talk about what we call the old newsroom, because there were two newsrooms at ABS-CBN. The old newsroom was a plywood newsroom.
Yeah.
Maliit lang and konti lang kami. That's where we all started before moving into the main newsroom in the big building, the building in front, Sergeant Esguerra, if you're familiar with ABS-CBN.
Yes.
By the way, gigibayin na yun.
Yeah.
I know.
And the tower as well, to make
Yeah.
way for, I think it's a mixed-use mall by Ayala or something. No? So we would get together every now and then, and pag nagkukwentuhan kami, we would come up with all these stories and all the behind the scenes anecdotes in our professional lives. So one day, sabi namin, ba't di tayo sumulat ng libro?
Yeah.
So we tried to break it down, Jing Reyes did a bullet point list of what we had to do, and we broke the book down in chapters. And the chapters, syempre, wala nangyari. Because, we just couldn't sit down and start writing the book. And then we came up with the idea of doing a podcast. Podcast na lang natin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it would be more natural,
Yeah.
and everything was off the cuff. It's not scripted,
Yeah.
and the stories would just flow. So
Yeah.
that's how it happened.
And mas malawak yung reach.
Yes, yes.
If you start a podcast,
Mas malawak yung
right?
reach.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I listened to the very first episode
Okay.
where you were telling all about your history, background. I love that episode. Kasi
Yeah.
talagang ang dami kong natutunan and oh my God, you started in 1976.
I started
Radio,
in
and then-
1976.
Yes, you did,
Yeah,
1976
in
in radio. And then you got called to audition for a news broadcast, right? And then that's what you mentioned a while ago, that you
Yeah. For RPN
co-anchored
9
with
Lauren
Lauren
Legarda in
Legarda.
1981, yeah.
So, all those years that you were in the industry, you saw how news has evolved, right? It's ibang-iba na from then and now.
Yeah.
Why did you feel na this kind of podcast is needed at this time?
Reference point. I think we all need a reference point where it's been and where it's going. It's very simple. Before, when you had a TV station or a radio station, you were the only one who would be able to reach millions of people.
Yes.
Nobody else could.
Yeah.
A newspaper, of course. No?
Yeah.
So, dati ang tawag doon, tri-media. So
Yes.
you had print and radio and TV. You had to have a broadcast station, no? Like, for example, ABS-CBN in the old days, before the age of satellite, no? And to the young guys out there, yes, there was an age before satellites. So, ang ibig sabihin nun, if I was broadcasting in Quezon City,
Yeah.
and gusto ko mapanood sa Zamboanga,
Yeah.
then you would have to send the signal to Zamboanga from Quezon City.
Yes.
Without a satellite, how do you do that? You would have to have a tower on all the highest mountains in the Philippines up to Zamboanga to relay the signal from Quezon City to Zamboanga.
Yeah.
So you had all these relay stations, and ABS-CBN had all these relay stations all across the country.
Yeah.
It was that difficult to broadcast. So, ang nakaka-broadcast lang nun, you may network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But
When,
things have
at the
changed now.
introduction of the internet, everybody could reach millions of people.
Yes.
So that changed the landscape drastically.
It increases the reach, obviously, especially when you take a look at people getting their information online at the
Right.
moment. It feels like one of the biggest gifts of technology, but also one of the biggest challenges at the same time. Because right now, content is less curated, news is less
There are
curated.
no gatekeepers.
There are no gatekeepers. Is that the biggest challenge in your opinion sa industriya natin ngayon?
Yes, that's one of the reasons why we said we have to talk about standards because with the introduction of the internet and the
Yeah.
loss of the gatekeepers, we all had gatekeepers when we were reporters. We had editorial boards. We had editorial meetings every day at 7 in the morning to discuss editorial standards and directions. Today, kahit sino lang pwede magsabi ng kahit ano on the internet. People lie on the internet. And if you're a consumer of information on the internet, kung mahilig ka sa news, pero yung pinakikinggan mong balita, hindi naman totoo. Yung paniniwalaan mo, hindi totoo. So, there are a lot of lies, misinformation, and disinformation. So, it's good to talk about what to consume, who to listen to, and how to vet the information that you're getting and you're consuming on a daily basis, because that's going to make you.
Yeah.
That's going to develop you into a person with particular prejudices and particular ideas. No? Ang hirap naman na lumalaki ka sa kasinungalingan.
Yeah.
So, it's important that we talk about the standards of journalism again.
Yeah.
Because there are standards of journalism. Because you can't equate news with the truth all the time.
Yeah.
That's not true. No? News is the effort to get at the truth. as close to it as you can get. That's the job. Pero ngayon, yung mga iba sinasabi, that's my truth.
Yeah.
There-
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say some people do that, and some people they have preferences kung anong klaseng mensahe yung makukuha nila. Like, you
Yes.
can look at a certain topic, but then if it's not said the right way or kung mali yung angulo, there's so many options out there. They can actually pick and choose the voice that they're listening to about this certain topic. Which brings me to my next point, because right now, apart from the challenges okay, the gatekeepers is a bit difficult. You mentioned that almost everyone can say something
Right.
and make their news. Right now, people can now program things to say things that they can via AI, and it feels so real. And right now, the challenge is even bigger, larger. We talk about deep fakes all the time right
Right.
now when it comes to the news. But then when we take a look at this particular layer, I don't feel like we've even overcome the previous challenge of
Right.
being reliable as we should be online. But right now with this new challenge of AI as well, how do you imagine we tackle that?
Very back to basics again. In journalism, when we were reporters, we always relied on attribution. It's not according to me. It's according to someone. And that someone, ideally, should be the guy who is in authority about the subject. For example, I go to a disaster area
Yeah.
and I just don't talk to anybody. I will talk to the guy who's head of the disaster operations, whoever that is, the head of the military or the head of the local government. Or so according to Mayor Paolo or according to Mayor Ann. So whatever you say is the official line because you are the official in charge in that area.
Yeah.
So attribution. So if you're a consumer of information, be sure that you're listening to people who the information is attributable to, is official in that story.
Yeah.
No? If you go back to that, back to the basics, then hindi ka masyado maliligaw when you're gathering the information. Number one. Number two, get multiple sources,
Yeah.
which is what we do as well. No? Don't just trust the word of one person or one source. No? Especially kung magkaaway sila.
That's true.
So get both sides. You don't get just one side in a conflict. No? So get both sides.
You know, with the advent of technology, like you've mentioned, kanina, it's a gift, right? But it can also be like a big challenge for us. Kasi syempre, with great technology comes great responsibility as
Spider-Man
well.
tayo lahat.
Diba?
Spider-Man tayo lahat.
Kasi now it's so easy to deliver the news out there, diba? You can see,
Accountability.
accountability. That's the right term. Kasi you just turn on your cell phone and then show things around, and then there you already have your news broadcast, right? So we're in an era of fast news, misinformation, AI. Can you tell us ano ba ang core value talaga ng trustworthy journalism?
You go back to the basics again. No?
Yeah.
Truth, respect. Don't invade anyone's space. Be respectful, but ask the right questions. Don't be afraid to ask the right questions. Of course, know the subject. Hindi ka pwede pumunta doon na wala ka naman alam. And then, doon ka palang mag-aaral ng subject.
Yeah.
When you're doing an interview. No? So, know the subject, read up, prepare yourself. I'm talking about people who want to be journalists. No? Because that's where it's coming from. You know? Yung journalist, iba ho yan sa vlogger. Ang journalist, pwede maging vlogger. Pero yung vlogger, minsan hindi pwede maging journalist.
Yeah.
Magkaiba ho yun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you adhere to the basic ethics and values of journalism, why not? Dapat patas-patas. And there are rules that we live by and we should be living by. They're really very simple. Don't lie. Don't make up things.
Yeah.
Kadalasan kasi yung mga nadidinig natin, the bosses on the internet, have agendas to fulfill. No?
Yeah.
Meron silang gusto mangyari.
Yeah.
That's why people do these things.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's always that statement that the favorite buzzword I remember, I believe, started in 2016 was the word bias. Especially online. Lahat ng news may konting slant, may konting bias because of siguro yung sources, because of the way it's written, who's saying the news, and we have all of that. But we unfortunately we cannot digress on that in the interest of time. But our goal kasi to be here is that this interview be repeated all over the Philippines in terms of the classrooms para matuto yung mga younger journalists from you.
Yes.
Truth lang,
Yeah,
truth.
yeah. Of course, I just want to talk about your background as well because you started out as a radio DJ.
Right.
And here you are right now in almost a radio-like setup sa podcast ninyo.
Yeah, it's
And
nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's
Like
also...
this.
Like this,
Yeah.
actually. And of course, you also went through the time wherein we were all trying to figure out how do we report the news on social media.
Right.
Just looking at how technology has changed the way we do things. Just how, one, exciting and scary are the times are for you personally at the moment.
Exciting because it's an opportunity again to elevate the discussion by talking about the things that we should be talking about, truth and facts only,
Right.
and not let politics dictate the discussion of our everyday.
Yeah.
And let's talk about more important things as well. Welfare of people, social service. Look at the roads now. Umulan ng 3 linggo, lahat ng kalye halos sira na. No? So what kind of life is the government giving us? No? So these are the things that we should be talking about. We should be talking truth power. We should be holding people accountable.
Right.
When they should. Now, I'm not talking about journalists only, but more so people in government.
Yeah.
So exciting because we can do this. Look at what we're doing this morning. We're talking about this, and this is the things that should be happening. Dapat nag-uusap tayo,
Yes.
and dapat ang pinag-uusapan yung mahalaga, hindi yung kung ano-ano lang, and not politics because politics is divisive.
Yes, it is.
By design.
And with that, I wish we actually had a podcast kasi medyo limitado tayo dito sa morning show natin eh.
I know. Sa kala
yeah.
natin we had a lot of time,
Yeah.
but now I think we're down to our last question.
Of course, our last question here. Anne loves sharing this question.
Yes,
Sir
because
Jing.
this day is called the show is called Beautiful Day. So, Sir Jing, what makes your day beautiful?
The sunrise this morning. It was the first sunrise I saw in 3 weeks. I was making my
yes,
way
that-
to Quezon City, and the sun peaked. I don't know if it's going to shine all day, but that only means for me that there's always hope.
That's
The
beautiful.
sun's going to shine
Beautiful.
every day.
That's beautiful. And
Thank you.
again, you can catch your podcast where? Where can we find it and see it?
Oh yeah, you can catch it, the news team, on YouTube and Facebook, but the full episode's on YouTube. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hindi pa kami sanay magsabi. Please,
I know.
and follow.
You gotta learn.
Like,
you gotta
You
learn
gotta
something.
learn,
new.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
you know-
And the new episode's coming out soon, right?
New
Yes.
episode number 5 is coming out in a day or two. So YouTube,
excited.
the news team PH,
Yeah.
please.
If I'm not mistaken, may TikTok din kayo.
Meron.
Wow.
Meron. oo. Pero
Yeah,
walang
we
sayawan
do.
doon. Seryosong
We
usapan
do.
natin.
Ngayon lang kami natuto, pero meron.
Changing technology. We're all
Yeah,
learning here.
yeah.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Jing Magsaysay. Thank you so much for
Salamat.
joining us
Thank
here.
you. Thank you,
Thank you for
Anne.
your
Thank you,
time.
Paolo.
All right, so after the break, we still have a lot of serious conversations. I'll be speaking with the DOT Regional Chief of Region 8, Amitzarina Apostol, talk about new sites, sustainability, and opportunities for our local farmers. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, farm tourism is growing in Eastern Visayas, combining farming and travel to help local communities and the environment. Joining us now via Zoom is the Chief of the DOT Region 8, Ms. Rina Apostol, to share about new farm tourism spots, eco-friendly practices, and how farms are becoming a top tourist destination. Good morning, Ms. Rina. Welcome to Beautiful Day.
Mabuhay nga maupay nga aga, maupay nga aga from Eastern Visayas.
Magandang umaga po, and thank you so much for joining us. I wish I could speak Bisaya also, pero hindi talaga po. I'll stick to my Tagalog and English. But let's start off first with yung vision po ng DOT when it comes to farm tourism sa Eastern Visayas specifically po. For those not familiar with farm tourism, ano po ba ang farm tourism and why is it important to push for this sa Eastern Visayas?
Of course, the Department of Tourism envisions farm tourism in Eastern Visayas as a transformative tool for inclusive growth. The goal is to position the region as the sustainable farm tourism destination in Visayas. The DOT also aims to develop farm tourism circuits that are experiential, educational, and environmentally responsible, contributing both to the tourism economy and, of course, to the agricultural resilience.
I think one of the key words there po is sustainable agricultural practices. So when we take a look at the word sustainable po, how does the DOT ensure na sustainable nga ang tourism development and of course yung mga practices na ginagawa dito sa farm tourism?
Yeah, of course, kasi sustainability is the main goal of the DOT's farm tourism agenda. So it's a close collaboration with the Department of Agriculture to ensure farms retain their primary function as food producers. And then for the tourism naman na aspect, development of tourism activities that enhance rather than disrupt existing farm systems. Then, so from our office, from the Department of Tourism, we give capacity building for farm tourism owners on sustainable land use, resource management, biodiversity conservation, and environmental cultural sensitivity assessments that are also incorporated into farm site development planning.
Ma'am, if I'm not mistaken, there are 58 potential agritourism sites in Eastern Visayas. Unang-una po, ano pong criteria po na nagamit po ninyo in identifying these potential sites?
Actually, the 58 potential agritourism sites identified in Eastern Visayas are currently recognized as learning sites siya for agricultures. It's under the Agricultural Training Institute, so Department of Agriculture. These farms have already met, of course, the ATI's criteria for being accredited as educational and demonstration farms. So most of the identified potential farm sites, yun naman ang i-accredit ni Department of Tourism.
You mentioned po educational and demonstration farm sites. So ano bang ibig sabihin nun? When you mean educational, is that educational for yung mga farm owners in terms of yung preparation nila for farm tourism, or is it also for yung mga guests po to educate them more on agriculture?
Actually, the DOT assists farm owners by giving them capacity building trainings, like farm tourism orientation, visitor handling, sustainable operations, food safety, Filipino brand of service excellence, yun yung mga binibigay naming trainings. And of course, for the part naman of marketing and promotion, inclusion in DOT's promotional materials and campaigns, opportunities to participate in local and national travel fairs, connection to digital booking platforms and regional tourism circuits. And then also the guidance on their accreditation. So we support the accreditation of our farm tourism sites, which is often a requirement for further support and promotion.
If I'm not mistaken po, there's actually studies being done on farm tourism. If I'm not mistaken, yung may collaboration po kayo with the UPLB and the Visayas State University. When you talk about yung partnership po ninyo with these academic institutions, what have you gained from yung research po nila?
Actually, for now, there's currently no formal research collab pa between the DA Regional Office and UPLB or BSU. However, the Visayas State University provided valuable technical assistance during the formulation of the Eastern Visayas Regional Tourism Development Strategic Action Plan. The Eastern Visayas Regional Farm Tourism Development Strategic Action Plan last 2023. So the BSU contributed their expertise in agricultural and sustainable development.
I want to talk about the farm owners po when it comes to farm tourism. Ano yung mga benefits sa mga kuha nila, especially if they work with the DOT, to be able to promote farm tourism? And of course, I can only imagine medyo shift po yan from just focusing on actual agriculture to making it more of a tourist destination, especially sa Eastern Visayas po.
So far kasi ngayon, what we talagang we promote is especially for those na mga taga-cities that they will also know what is farming.
Yes.
So we create a program, mga experiential tours sa mga farm tourism sites in the area.
Can you elaborate more on yung
So that also the student.
Sorry, go ahead po. All right, Ms. Rina, I think just double check yung audio, and I think we're back here. So I actually want to move on and talk about yung concept and development plans po ninyo when it comes to agricultural parks, marine agricultural parks in particular, and of course, yung agri-tourism destinations po ninyo. What ideas do you have for this in terms of yung mga development plans ninyo to make this a more sustainable and of course very attractive destination and of course offering sa Eastern Visayas?
Yeah, of course, sa Eastern Visayas kasi we identify farms that can be developed for tourism and then promote good farming practices and sustainability. And then the Department of Tourism offers trainings and technical support to the farm owners. And also, we help them market their farm site destinations.
Yeah. Ma'am, ano yung pinakamalaking challenges po in terms of promoting farm tourism? Because at the moment, syempre, you have to make the idea of farm tourism actually attractive and, of course, develop that even more. What are the biggest hurdles in terms of developing farm tourism?
Sorry?
Ano pa yung biggest challenges po in terms of developing farm tourism sa region?
Actually, the development of our farm tourism here in the region is we develop a tourism circuit that the farm tourism sites are included with their experiential tours, and then also developing another tour program for our cruise visitors, because by the way, Eastern Visayas is also included na sa mga cruise visit. So kasi ang cruise visit na pumupunta dito sa Eastern Visayas is more on expedition cruises. So we include also our farm tourism sites na mapuntahan ng mga guests natin from the cruise. So inside the farm is malalaman nila kung ano yung mga experiential tour na mangyayari within the site.
Ma'am, where can we find the list of yung mga accredited tourist destinations po ninyo for farm tourism? And of course, how can we check on them and of course, access them ourselves?
I'm sorry, sir. Hindi siya masyadong clear.
Okay lang po. How can we find out ano po yung mga accredited farm tourism sites po ninyo? And of course, how can we reach out to them and access them ourselves? All right, so I believe Miss Rina's having difficulty with her connections at the moment, so we'll have to unfortunately cut that short. And of course, thank Miss Rina Apostol for sharing the valuable insights, especially when it comes to farm tourism in the Eastern Visayas. We'll try to get more information on that later on, but for now, thank you so much, Miss Rina Apostol, once again. Maraming salamat and have a great morning. Now, that is it for Weather HQ at the moment, and back to you.
Thank you, Pao. Now, what do the stars have in store for us today? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! Beautiful day with me, Bilyonaryo Feng Shui Expert Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang ating horoscope for today, July 30, Wednesday. Simulan natin sa mga year of the rat. Iwasan ang cold drinks sa gabi, lalo na kung masama ang pakiramdam. White at 2. Kay Oksaman tayo, be firm with your deadlines. Huwag hayaang madelay dahil sa iba. Blue at 4. Kay Tiger naman you're trusted with a task. Prove them right. Gray at 6. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman hindi sapat ang sorry kung lagi kayang sinasaktan. Yellow at 3. Kay Year of the Dragon naman, maghanda sa biglaang changes. Expect good ones. Green at 1. Kay Year of the Snake naman tayo, hindi love ang tawag kapag ginagamit ka lang niya tuwing may pabor. Gold at 5. Ito naman, Care of the Horse. Someone may offer a short-term collab. Go for it. Align yan with you. Red at 7. Care of the Ship naman kung kulang sa respeto ang relasyon, hindi bonus ang kailangan kung hindi break. Pink at 8. Care of the Monkey naman tayo, wag sayangin ang creative surge. Document your ideas. Purple at 9. Kay Rooster naman tayo, tapusin ang pending para magaang ang pasok ng susunod na buwan. Silver at 6. Kay Year of the Dog naman tayo, kumain ng vegetables at iwas tayo sa street food this week. Green at 1. Kay Year of the Pig naman tayo, kung ngayon ka lang naalala at sweldo na naman. Anak ko, you already know. Green at 4. Paalala lang ito po'y patnubay lamang, ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua, your Bilyonaryo Feng Shui Expert.
Thank you, as always, Master Hans Kua. What was your horoscope today?
My horoscope was that I'm gonna have a short-term collab. With
Short-term
someone.
collab.
And I gotta go for it. Oo. Which I think it's so perfect for our next guest.
I
Kasi
know.
mahilig siya mag-collab
You might be singing with the next
Of course
guest.
not. No,
with our
no, no.
next guest really soon.
No, because we all know in this show we have specified over, at least I have specified over and over again, my goal is to die on screen.
I know. Oo nga.
Oo.
Right.
This guy may have a music video.
Oo.
If someone is going to die, like, it better be me. Like, di ba? I mean, like,
we'll ask Russell later, just in
Oo.
case, he's gonna create a music video real soon where someone gets shot, or not necessarily dies, but just gets shot.
okay,
With
might
a
not
bullet or
necessarily
an
die.
arrow.
Yeah. I mean, like, 'cause-
Ikaw na yon.
no, I mean, like, it'll be the best worst acting, all right? The best worst acting. Like, I get, like, you get shot in the chest, but then your leg hurts. That's how it's gonna feel like. Oh my
Dapat
goodness.
yung like yung sa mga Korean novellas, when they
Oo.
get shot, they biglang nagsuslow mo na.
No, pero no, wait, that one, that particular one.
What?
One thing comes up to mind. If you watch the OC, growing up, I
No.
did. You did not.
Okay.
Someone gets shot.
And
As
then,
soon as they get
slow-mo?
shot, hindi lang slow-mo. You play a certain music.
Oh.
Like, that's just specific. Like, it's the
So,
music you get
if,
shot to.
okay, if you get featured in his music video, you get shot, anong gusto mong,
Yung kanta niya. His song. Why not?
Pwede.
Alright, no. What
And
else
then
see?
slow-mo.
Yeah. No, but for those who understand that OC reference back in 2000, wow, 8, I think, 9, it's when someone gets shot and then the song, What You Say plays.
Oh!
And like, it's so...
Ang medyo hindi match yung yung
tumatak
music.
talaga sa ko. Like, it's still there. I
Maybe
still
because
remember
it's
it.
just not right for a
Oh, no.
a scene like that.
It's perfect. Okay,
Really?
it's perfect. Like it's so perfect. SNL made a
Hindi man
spoof
lang
out
siya
of it.
parang
No.
heavy beat
No,
or...
no, it's perfect. All right. Anyway, boy, oh boy, we teased him already, but then I think we should just keep on going.
Yes, but before we introduce our next guest,
Oh, yeah.
let me just say hi to a couple of people who are watching us live on Facebook. We have Christine Tello there and Isabel Tubola saying good morning.
Good morning to all of you.
And also, you can hear us live on the Facebook page of Mellow 94.7 BFM.
Oh.
Yes, so we're on Facebook, the official BNC Facebook account. We're also live on Mellow 94.7 Facebook page and also on YouTube. So there are so many ways to get in touch with us. Send us those messages and our questions for our guests later. Go ahead and type away.
You know what? I actually didn't realize how much reach we had. So hello
Diba?
to everyone out there.
So many people
it's
watching.
It's a pleasant surprise. Of course, and our next guest will have a
Yes.
pleasant surprise as well.
Our musical guest will join us later on the show to talk about his upcoming album, Mother's Land, which will be released in August. Catch Filipino-Canadian R&B sensation Russell perform live on Daymix after the break. Beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hi there, welcome back. You're still watching Beautiful Day. Filipino-Canadian artist Russell pens a love letter to the Philippines in his upcoming album Mother's Land. Here's R&B sensation Russell as he performs Crazy For You live on Daymix. Back here first, right here on Beautiful Day on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Crazy For You, Russell, featuring Denise Laurel, of course, in that song.
Hell yeah.
We loved it.
Yes, we did.
Thank
Oh
you.
my goodness.
Yes, we do, rather.
I
yeah.
want to play it on repeat, like for
Thank
the
you.
entire day today. When is that coming out on streaming platforms?
We haven't announced the album date as of yet, but I will
Okay.
say mid-August.
Mid-August.
Mid-August,
So that
yeah.
is something to look forward to. And again, you heard that here first.
Yeah, and
Bragging
we're so
rights.
excited. Yeah, we're so excited for it. Again, the collab with Dennis Laurel, fantastic. First of all, welcome to the show. Really glad you're here with
you
us
for
this
having
morning.
me.
We're so happy you're a morning person because famously we're not. Yeah.
And most of our guests, when we ask them, are they okay with waking up early? They're like,
No, he's up and
not
about.
this early.
He's up and about, and he's
Yeah.
ready to sing as well. First of all, thank you so much for coming in. You have a new album coming up, but then let's first talk about your time here in the Philippines because this is your third time
Yeah,
in
my
the
third
country.
visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how's the experience been so far? If I'm not mistaken, it's been back and forth here in the Philippines over the last year or so.
Yeah, I mean, I could speak from 2 points of view. I mean, musically, it's incredible. I've had a lot of inspiration here. I mean, working with all these artists, it's a lot of love that I get here, which is great. A lot of respect, a lot of appreciation.
Yeah.
So with that comes just a lot of motivation to keep coming here and keep empowering the scene, keep contributing to the music scene.
Yeah.
And then on the personal side, I grew up in Canada.
Yeah.
Single mother, but I also had a stepdad that was Trinidadian, so I kind of grew up more Caribbean than anything. But being in my 30s now, I'm 31, and I'm like, let me try to explore more of myself. And, you know, there's a lot of sides to myself, but one I have to start with is my culture and where I
Right,
come from.
right.
And yeah, I'm just rediscovering a lot of myself out here and where my mom came from,
Yeah.
which is kind of what my album's about, in a sense, like coming back to the motherland and being more connected with my mom.
Yeah. We asked you a while ago, and you told us that you have never performed here in the Philippines. Is that correct?
I've done one concert here.
Okay.
One concert. It was like the introduction concert on my first visit, actually.
When was
And,
this? What year was this?
Last year.
Just last
year,
Okay.
and I would
so
say
this is
May
the
or June.
second time that you've performed on the show.
One of them, yeah. I've been doing like spread out shows here and there.
Okay, yeah,
which is
Alright.
which is cool, but this is like my first, I guess, like daytime television.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
So that's
thank you
cool.
again for waking up early. So I did a bit of research, and you are rebranding. So before you did a more melodic R&B, you were doing rap.
I was a rapper, yeah.
Yes. And you had a different name.
Yeah, my name was D Pride.
D Pride.
That's how a lot of people know me.
Yeah, so from D Pride to Russell with an exclamation point. Is there like a story behind that name
shift,
change,
yeah.
that shift? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it dealt a lot with growing up. I used to want to be like a super, I guess, dark rapper and
Okay,
very
okay.
aggressive, and maybe that's what a lot of my past kind of was laced with, like a lot of aggression, a lot of sadness, a lot of anger. But you grow and you live, and your taste changes.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
to therapy. I learned a lot of things, and I mean, one, I didn't want to be 31 named D Pride. Like, that's a little weird. Like, 31-year-old named D Pride is a little off.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
And my name, it was just like, so, like, everybody called me Russell.
Okay.
Like, even my close
Yeah,
friends
because your
were
real
like,
name is Gilbert Russell.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
And, like, my friends would just be like, I'm not calling you that, right? Like, your name's Russell, bro.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I just kind of had to resort to it. And honestly, I like it so much more. I think I was always somebody that wanted people to know my name, but my name. And now it's like, when you look at Madonna, it's Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that was kind of the inspiration to it, just wanting my name to just be one thing. And yeah, a lot of people call me Deep Fried.
Deep
in
fried.
which I did, like deep fried
Yeah.
chicken. Like, I just didn't want to
Oh,
confuse
man,
people,
yeah,
So
yeah,
Russell
yeah.
kind of just rolls off the tongue. Right?
Yeah. No, I get you. I
Yes.
get you. But to be fair, when we say deep fried here, we think of fried chicken. We think of,
Anything
the
deep-
chicken.
And it wasn't any of that. It was music. And that's where I feel like I make my mom proud at. My mom always wanted me to do music.
Yeah.
And to be here for that purpose, it's great.
Let's talk about your collaborations with other Filipino artists. You worked with JR, the king of R&B,
Yep.
here in the Philippines. And also you have songs with Ilis Morena and Because, right? Let's talk about your experience working with these other Filipino artists, and what is that community collaboration like behind the scenes?
Like I said before, it's a lot of love here.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists will come here and say that, but really, like, coming over here and meeting artists who we were talking about, D Pride, there's a lot of artists here who've been listening to me since D Pride, and that's like a 15-year journey.
Yeah.
So after 15 years being in front of some of these artists and having them tell me, like, yo, you're my childhood, I've always wanted to work with you.
Yeah.
It's like guys like Because, for example, like, I was a fan of his and he was a fan of mine. And to meet him in person, he came out to my show and I was like, this is so awesome,
Yeah,
because some collaborations, especially in the North American side of the industry, it's very transactional. You
Yeah.
meet somebody, they just come into the studio for an hour, they finish it and they leave. And the fans think it's like a genuine collaboration.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just manufactured by the label and they're just there to,
Yeah.
make some
Yeah.
money, make a song. But
Right.
for here, it's like, I feel like Filipinos, just as a whole, we're so connected to music and we love music. Down to the artists here, they love and tribute music so much. So the appreciation that they have for it and the appreciation they have for collaboration is just so much different. And I love the energy, like having to come out here and like really hear amazing words about my music and then go get to make music with these guys and hang out with them too. I think like even Ilis Moreno we had talked about, and like
yeah.
Denise Laurel, like new friends that I made here that I spent time with before I even like made the songs and hung out with and talked to them, and it was great. Like, I think everybody on the album I vibed with personally. And I went to a Billboard party the other day, and like all the artists were there, and we all got to vibe, just hang out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
That's what I'm about. I'm a big chiller. I like to
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as I can chill and know that you're a chill person, we could definitely work.
Yeah, that's a very Pinoy thing, by the way. Just to have that, that, I guess that warmth, that community, that
So
connection.
it's not just a collaboration. It's like
Yeah.
forming friendships with these people as well.
100%.
Right? Yeah.
Did that surprise you coming into the Philippines? Because I could only imagine, obviously your work already speaks for itself. Back when you were Deep Ride and now with your Russell, but then working with all these artists, did you expect the type of warmth? I guess considering your experiences in the industry and in music.
I actually just didn't want to expect anything.
Yeah.
Because as a North American artist, like, I feel like, and I'm only being honest when I say this, I feel like a lot of North American artists have like an ego attached to them. Because they're like, I'm from the Mecca of this, and I'm so cool, and I'm blah. But for me, like, to me, it's a lot of talent out here, and the bar is set so high.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to expect to be I didn't want to expect any special treatment. I have to put my work in here. I have to put my work in over here as much as I put my work in. It doubled the work that I put in America. But to be met with that warmth and to be met with that love, I was like, oh, great, cool. And I'm already motivated. This is going to be a fun journey. But, I'm always thankful for it. I'm always grateful for it. It's one thing when somebody tells you they like your music, but when they look like you, you know what I mean? Like when they grow with similar cultural norms,
Yeah.
it's different. It hits so much different because you feel this need of representation. And I have a
Yes.
big passion for representation, especially in Western media. And what I want to see in Western media is more people from the Philippines highlighted over there. So we could just be global and worldwide, you know? There's a wave of Afro beats. There's a wave of Latin music. Filipino music could be on the same level worldwide. Like we need more of us on the worldwide Billboard charts. And if I can bridge the gap with my album, then that would be a great thing.
Yeah, yeah. And your songs are on Spotify. Your top hit on Spotify is Scarlet's Weekend. It has 13 million streams, and you have over 200,000 monthly listeners. What can you say to all of your loyal fans out there?
I love everybody. Expect 10 to 15 years more of music. I'm never going to give up. We're going to keep feeding
never
the streets.
stopping.
Yeah, never stopping, and we're only getting better. That's the greatest part about me. It's more than 10,000 hours to me. I'll put in 30, 40, 50,000 hours. As long as I get to keep on doing this, I'm gonna be happy for life. There is, it's great to make money off your dream, but when you can also make an impact and inspire people, that's like a high human act, and I never take that for granted.
It feels like we are at the beginning of your journey here in the Philippines. I know you're 31 years young. You say you're getting older, but stop it. When we look at what's next for you, especially here, maybe in North America as well, what can we expect?
Honestly, a big output of music. Since my first album, Dearly Loved, it came out last year, I've just been on a big creative high, just like, pumping out content, pumping out music, like every month almost. So honestly, it's the output, having this album come out, 13 new songs for people. And I have another project that I'm working on. It's under the wraps right now.
Okay.
It's a work in progress right now. But honestly, just flooding the streets with more music and, just honestly going hard, live shows, like just everything under the sun when it comes to new and exciting stuff. Like, just like you said, it's like we were talking about the rebrand earlier. It's a rebirth. And with that just comes so much more life to be excited about. So yeah, just expect more output, more music, more content.
And we want to hear more from you. Our viewers would love to know where can they find your music, where can they find you on your socials.
Russell on all streaming services. All my socials are Russell is Lovely. I have the word lovely tatted on my face.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, Russell is Lovely. And yeah, we got the SEO up, so you can even Google Russell and find me.
That's how you do it, though. That's how you
Yes,
do it.
Exactly.
You get the name.
And don't forget the exclamation point at the
Yep,
end.
exclamation
Russell.
point.
Yes.
Exclamation point.
You know, Russell, we're running out of time, but we always ask our guests this last question. This show is called Beautiful Day. What makes your day beautiful?
Music. I love music. Makes my day beautiful. I listen to it from day to night. And yeah, if you're ever having a bad day, just play your favorite song. It'll get you there.
Yeah.
And,
Open Spotify, listen to Russell, and that'll make your day beautiful.
Russell's Mothers lands out on August 13 on all streaming platforms. He mentioned music makes his day beautiful, and maybe his music can make your day beautiful as well. Once again, Russell with an exclamation point. Here in the Philippines, you're Russell! Woo! Russell, thank you so much for joining us here on Beautiful Day.
Thank you, Russell.
And that is a wrap on our show this Wednesday, July 30. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Remember, keep it cool and take it easy.
I'm Ann Asis-Carilo. Have a great day ahead, and always remember to choose joy, spread love and kindness wherever this day takes you. And don't forget, see you again tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
Beautiful day.